Hi, I'm Donald McIntyre, founder of Etherplan. This is an update of my price predictions for Ethereum Classic. And the title of this video is Why Ethereum Classic Will Rise to 1,200 very soon. So I've been giving many arguments and have several assumptions of why ETC is going to rise and to be probably the second largest proof of work blockchain in the world after Bitcoin. And here I am listing 7 of the key advantages of Ethereum Classic, ETC. And these 7 advantages combined make it an incredibly powerful, distinct and valuable blockchain. And when the market discovers these things, it should rise significantly. And I think it's going to rise from now until 2024 for several reasons, which are these 7 reasons, and also because of the macro situation, and also because the halving in Bitcoin is going to occur more or less in March. I would say between March and May of 2024, and in the same range between March and May of 2024, ETC is going to reduce its block rewards to miners by 20%. ETC has the same monetary policy as Bitcoin. It has a cap of 210 million coins. Bitcoin has a cap of 21 million coins, and Bitcoin reduces by 50% the payment to miners, reducing the supply every 4 years, and ETC reduces it by 20% every 2 years. So the monetary policies are very similar. But let me explain these 7 advantages. One is that Ethereum Classic is a proof of work blockchain. Only proof of work blockchains are blockchains. Proof of stake and proof of authority blockchains are not blockchains. They're just networks managed by some people, and they're centralized. True decentralization is only achievable with proof of work, because the proof of work itself, the proof of work hash per block, or the cryptographic stamp per block, is the only way, is the information that all the nodes and all the miners need in the world to know which is the correct block every round, without consulting with anybody else, without anybody else's permission, and with no supervision of any kind. So this is true decentralization. All the other systems are centralized. They have voting, they have they have chosen trusted parties to run the nodes, like in proof of authority, or voting by supermajority in the case of proof of stake. And proof of stake is already centralized. You can see what's happening in Ethereum. So that's the first advantage. It's a proof of work blockchain. Second, it is hard money, because it's proof of work. Therefore, a lot of work has to be done to create the coins in ETC, just like in Bitcoin. There's no coin created in Bitcoin or ETC that are created without before that a lot of work is done. In proof of stake and proof of authority, they just give coins to the validators. They didn't do any work. They didn't spend any electricity. They didn't invest anything in machinery or in plants, in data centers, in teams of engineers. Nothing. They just receive the coins, they print them out of thin air. And proof of work, only after doing a lot of work and spending a lot of capital in machines, data centers, employing people and engineers, and spending a lot of money in electricity, are the coins created and issued to the miners. And this is exactly like gold, and that was the whole point of proof of work, to imitate the scarcity and value of gold in the real world. And also it has a fixed supply. So ETC is hard money because it's proof of work, and it has a fixed supply just like Bitcoin. 3, it is programmable at the base layer. This means that unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic is programmable. Developers can send software programs to ETC and they get replicated in all the nodes around the world automatically when they, in a matter of milliseconds when they send them. This transforms or makes these software programs decentralized. Therefore, and these decentralized software programs are called smart contracts, and therefore whatever dApps they power, those applications are decentralized. So this is very important. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, and Doge, which are the other large, or Caspa, are the other large proof-of-work coins, are not programmable. ETC is, and ETC is part of that group of very large very large proof-of-work blockchains, but it has smart contracts and the others don't. So this is a very important differentiation. It is fully replicated. This means that unlike all those chains that they want to be sharded, or they have parachains or side chains or whatever invention they created to make them more scalable, ETC, just like Bitcoin, is fully replicated. 100% of the accounts, balances, and software programs, or dApps, or smart contracts, are fully replicated in 100% of the nodes of the network. This is the idea of blockchains, that they had to be completely replicated, so there is absolute redundancy, so there's no way that man or nature can stop the system. Doesn't matter if there's a nuclear war, ETC is always going to be there. Why? Because there's always going to be a copy. It's so replicated around the world that it doesn't matter if there's wars, dictatorships, tyranny, or natural disasters. It's always going to be secure and working. This is why the more nodes exist in a network, the more secure the network is. Even though Bitcoin has, say 12,000 nodes, the node 12,001 adds to the security of the system. In the same way, in Ethereum Classic, it has more than 900 nodes. 901 nodes is more secure than 900. More nodes is always more security in the system. 5, it is composable. This is critical. All accounts, balances, and decentralized software programs are inside the same system. Therefore, complex multi-dapp or multi-application transactions may be performed in single transaction executions. This is incredible. It doesn't exist in any system. It does exist in blockchains. For example, Ethereum is composable, Ethereum Classic is composable, but Ethereum is centralized, so that now it doesn't matter that it's composable. What does composable mean? If you are a trader, for example, and you want to buy a token in ETC and do an arbitrage with another token inside ETC, and but it all depends. It has to be done depending if the price of another token or another asset in the system hits a certain level. If you want to do a complex arbitrage situation and you want to at the same time hedge it with derivatives, you can do the whole transaction with 4 parts, 6 parts in the transactions, or putting together 4 or 5 smart contracts or 4 or 5 dApps, and you can execute the transaction in one single execution. In traditional systems or in blockchains that are sharded or divided into side chains or parachains, and all those inventions that they're doing, or sharding, like they want to do in Ethereum, or Ethereum is going to have several layer 2 systems to make it more scalable, and that already eliminates composability. Why? Because the different dApps are in different systems and they don't communicate to each other with each other. Therefore, the miners, when they with the miners or validators in one system, they don't know what's going on in the other system. So you want to do a trade that involves an asset in one system and the other asset in the other, and maybe when you go to execute the second trade in the other system, somebody else already bought or sold that asset and the price is gone. So you cannot execute in complex transactions in single executions. That can only be done in fully replicated single blockchains. Composability is very important. 6, it is the largest proof of work smart contracts blockchain in the world. So it is not only proof of work, and it's not only smart contracts and programmable and digital gold because it has a fixed supply, but it is the largest proof of work smart contracts blockchain in the world. Size is very important in the blockchain world. Size is extremely important because it makes the systems the most secure ones. If you have systems that are identical, say 10 blockchains that are identical proof of work blockchains, that use the same mining algorithm, the biggest one is the most secure one. The second one is already not secure. The third one, the fourth one, etc., they're less secure, less secure, less secure. And in the case of ETC, it has the incredible advantage that it's the largest proof of work, therefore truly decentralized, and the most secure one. Smart contracts, therefore programmable, which is unique, and it's digital gold. So this number 6 is extremely important. It is the largest proof of work smart contracts blockchain in the world. And 7, because of all the reasons said before, applications inside ETC are the most secure apps in the world in any system. It doesn't matter in the US military, in the Russian military, the Chinese military, in whatever highly secure banking systems in the world there are, etc. All those are less secure than applications inside ETC. Why? Because they're not dependent on single or small groups of administrators. They are totally decentralized and nobody can control them. There's no way that China, Russia, the United States, or the European Union, even if they all got together, they would not be able to control ETC because it's truly decentralized. And therefore, whoever deploys decentralized applications or smart contracts inside ETC, they know they are truly unstoppable and the most secure applications in the world. This is the most unique and differentiating strategic point of ETC, that the applications inside the Ethereum Classic blockchain are the most secure applications because it's the most secure execution environment in the whole world. There's no other place in the universe that is more secure for applications than ETC. So these are the seven my update in terms of the 7 keys of why ETC is so valuable and why I think it's going to go to 1,200. Why the number 1,200? Well, this I have showed before. It's because gold drives the price of Bitcoin. So if gold is worth, for example, now in 2013 is worth 13 trillion 90 billion dollars, or 13.09 trillion dollars, and Bitcoin is going to be worth the same as gold, because Bitcoin is gold but in the internet, in cyberspace. So at least Bitcoin is going to be in the short term, in the next few years, as valuable as gold. And everything is aligning for that. BlackRock is going to launch an ETF. Grayscale's ETF is going to be approved very likely very soon. That's going to open the doors, the gates for enormous amounts of capital to be invested in Bitcoin. In Argentina, the candidate that supports Bitcoin won the election. El Salvador is a case of success. And it adopted Bitcoin as their legal tender. Everything points at Bitcoin is going to be worth the at least the value of gold or more. So as Bitcoin goes increasing in its share of the value of gold, and because ETC is also a proof of work blockchain, and it's also digital gold, and it's associated with the price of Bitcoin, it's very correlated. Then as Bitcoin goes up, driven to catch up with the price of gold, then ETC is going to go up with Bitcoin. So gold drives Bitcoin, and Bitcoin drives ETC. This is the logic of this chart. So you have at the top the price of gold, the projections for the future. As I said, now in 2023, we have gold is worth $3.09 trillion. So with a 3.2% inflation, which is very conservative, next year in 2024, gold should be worth around $3.5 trillion. And say that Bitcoin reaches a 25% share of the value of gold next year, it's only going to be a price of Bitcoin of 171,000. So I think that Bitcoin is going to be between 150 and 200,000 next year. When that happens, ETC easily is going to go up just because Bitcoin goes up, but at the same time, because of the reasons that I said before, ETC is going to grow and go up in the ranks of the proof of work blockchains in price, in market cap. So if ETC were to reach only 5% of the value of Bitcoin, then it would be the total value would be $168.8 billion divided by the projected supply at that time is going to be $1,145 per coin in ETC. So around, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes to 1,200. I just rounded off, and for me, my price target is 1,200 because of volatility. It's very likely to reach that if it goes to 1,145. So this is my price projection for ETC. This is the logic. You can study this chart more. I mean, this is the history from 2013, 2017, and 2021. It's 4 year. It's more or less 4 year cycles, because this is the 4 year cycle of the fifthening of Bitcoin. Here in 2021, we had the cycle, but it was cut short because of the COVID crisis and because the Federal Reserve started to raise rates, and they raised rates from 0.25% to 5.25% in 18 months, and that destroyed the market and sucked all the liquidity, and this is why we had this bear market for the last 2 years. But because the next halvening of Bitcoin is in 2024, then the next bull market very likely is going to be in 2024, where Bitcoin, for these reasons, is going to reach 171,000 or 200,000 very easily, and ETC 1,145 or 1,200 very easily, just because of volatility. And then in the next cycles, in 4 years after that, we continue projecting Bitcoin is going to be at least $366,000 per coin. And because it's going to very likely rise to 50% of the value of gold by that time, given all this demand, that is the pent up demand that is going to be activated when all the ETFs and all these things are activated, and then central banks are going to start buying Bitcoin. It's going to be massively legitimized. So ETC is going to say that ETC is recognized and the market acknowledges these amazing benefits of ETC, which are true. They are objective. It's not like wishful thinking. They are all truths. It is absolutely true. So say that ETC goes to 25% of the value of Bitcoin, then it's going to be around $12,000 or $11,817, which is around $12,000. And following the same logic, in 2032, Bitcoin is going to be around $800,000 or $780,000, and ETC should be by that time 50% of the value of Bitcoin, which I think is that's where it's going to stabilize, around 50% of the value of Bitcoin, and it should be around $48,000 or $50,000 in 2032. So 1,200 is my price target. These are the reasons why I think ETC is so valuable. And like I said before, all these other external things like the ETF approvals for BlackRock, other mutual fund companies, for Grayscale, the massive demand that is going to be activated, the success of El Salvador, the success or the election of this president in Argentina that is pro Bitcoin, and this is going to be spread in many other countries. And also the wars and the dangers. I think the Israel war is going to escalate. This is going to make people migrate to secure assets. One of those assets is digital gold, like Bitcoin. It's going to go up, and that's going to make ETC go up because Bitcoin ETC is also digital gold. So there's many things happening, and at the macro level, the rise of interest rates from 0 to 5.25 or 5.5 is going to generate a recession. So the Fed and the European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan and the Bank of China, etc., they're all going to start lowering rates just to recover their economies and things like that. So this is why I believe that ETC is going to be 1,200. Thank you very much.